real talk. Ooh, with Kenny J. Real talk, real talk. With Kenny J.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is your man Kenny J, your boy Kenny J. And
I am
Tiffany's here. And we're representing Real Talk, Real Thought. And
Hear my heart.
Yeah. We're doing it again. I hope everybody is doing phenomenally well. I hope everybody is having a great time during their lively things this coming 2025. I certainly hope everybody is safe. I'm sure the church folk is coming off their fast at some point with their 20-day fast. And that's today's so Sunday afternoon. I'm sure the restaurants is going to be quite full with church folks after the fast.
And I hope you don't go too fast after the fast, because depending upon how you fasted, your stomach gonna hurt if you eat too much.
And the nearest lavatory will be calling your name. Praise his blessed name. So just be very, very careful.
Please.
Very, very careful. Coming off of the fast.
Yes.
So as I said, I hope everybody is having a phenomenal start of the year. And of course, this is going to be a show talking about living in the now, 2025. And we got some things popping. What you got?
I think it's very, very important and very vital for us to be able to live in the now. I can't wait. Thank you for allowing me to be your co-host.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. We're going to see a whole bunch of these things going on. So many things as a way of kind of informing everybody. There's so much going on personally with us, in a bunch of different things. So please stay engaged. It is going to absolutely bless your life if you want to change, if you want a different outlook and a different perspective, and just kind of some clarity on some things you've been dealing with. Hopefully we'll be able to help through the experiences that we have and had, that we'll be able to help you navigate through these situations and things. So tonight, without further ado,
before we get to the meat and potatoes of it, please like and share.
Yes.
Also, if you hear something within this engagement that we got going on in here, there's this wonderful section called comments. Okay. And we want you to take plenty advantage of that. If you have any questions, you got some concerns, or you just want to chime in, let us know that you're paying attention and you're not just letting it go in the background while you're out and around doing whatever. Comments help. So get into there. But like, comment, share. And if you're not, please make sure you're subscribing to Real Talk. Real Talk.
And Real Talk, Real Thought has to be subscribing to Hear My Heart. I want to make this disclaimer. Absolutely. So when you're responding in the comments, please be responsible.
Okay. Hello.
Right? Because we have a thorough block ministry that is operating in a full function.
Straight up.
I think we are adults. I always say us 4-decade-old individuals need to act accordingly. Now, if you still have 40 years of life and you're still acting like you're, in your local high school, you absolutely are going to benefit from this conversation tonight. It's really going to bless your heart. It's going to bless your soul. No one has arrived where they are who is healed by themselves. It is a process and it is necessary. So we're going to help facilitate your way of responding. Be responsible. This is not a bullying sort of situation. We're not trying to be messy. We're trying to be responsible individuals with children and grandkids out here working and doing what we can to help the world with our experiences. We're not experts. We're just individuals that's had a tremendous amount of experience in life. And we're just hopefully being able to use our platform to help somebody get to whatever they got going on. If they're trying to get to living in the now, hopefully this session is going to help you get there.
Right.
So, my dear, my love, let's get to it. Let's get to it. What we got first?
Well, I definitely want to share that you're absolutely right. The show tonight is about letting go and living in the now. And it's something that's super imperative for us to be able to let go of some of the things that's in our past. Some of our past is someone's present. So you never know what we're going to share now that's going to be able to impact your life. So it's very, 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 very imperative that you start letting go of some of the things. Old things has passed away. I can't help it. All I got is Bible for you, but old things passed away, and behold, all things are becoming new. That does not necessarily wash away any and everything that came away. And just because we're saying, behold, all things are new, that doesn't mean that every day is going to be super easy. But there are some pain from your past that you got to be able to work through the process and be able to let it go.
It is probably one of the hardest things to do, is to let something go that you really held dear to you.
Ooh.
It's difficult. Even if it isn't good to you sometimes, or for you sometimes, we tend to want to continuously hold on to the thing that causes us the trauma. If there is a separation in a relationship, I do this. She laughs at me when I do this. I say in a relationship. You have to be responsible to know when it's time, when the seasons have started, when they've come to an end. And I think we have to be responsible. I believe we have to be responsible when those times come. 9 out of 10 times, things will happen awkward, crazy, if you continuously let a season go that was designed to come and go. It's, we live in a world, where, every day the weather is going to change.
Truth.
I don't even care if you are in the fall. There's still going to be some warm days in the fall, especially if you live in the southern hemisphere of the world. It's just going to kind of be that way. Maybe if you go up northern or kind of Midwest or wherever, you may run into a situation. But it's important that you see those seasons come and you see those seasons go, and it is okay to transition. It is okay to let some things go. We have learned so much throughout the last quarter of the 2024 year, coming into the 2025 year.
Baby.
It is absolutely some really, 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 really crazy, unfortunate things, but we're still pushing forward and giving some hopeful tips that's going to help you prosper and get better. What you got, baby?
I have to piggyback off of the seasons change, because there's like 4 seasons in a year. I can't help but to be practical. And so in those 4 seasons, we only got a few months in each part of that season. And there's nothing we can do to stop those seasons from coming. So you just kind of got to ride the wave out. So seriously, ride the wave of that season. And again, it's okay to let stuff go. Okay. Don't harbor onto it. Let the stuff go. But I do have a question that I do have to ask you.
All right, what we got?
Can you tell me of a time for you, transparent moment, where you felt like you needed to release some anger, or there was some things that you had to push past, as far as pushing past some of the things that's happened to you before in your life?
Absolutely. I won't go into specific detail.
Oh, excuse me.
But I will.
I'm gonna get these details.
The details of the matter is fairly simple. When we go through different situations, we think that anger is going to solve everything.
Okay.
And normally, at least in my things going on, anger didn't help me. It kind of hindered me from getting to a healthier mindset. We tend to hold on things that are cancerous. We tend to hold on things that are fading away, that are dimming. And for the life of me, I just really don't understand, if everyone knows that it's coming to an end, why must there be any anger? Of course, it'll be some, some tension or whatever the case may be at some point. But at some point, I mean, it is what it is. You can't make anybody do anything, that you desire for them to do. And anger for me was something. I have a hot temper. Anybody's ever known me, I could go left very, very fast.
Oh, hothead.
Very fast, and that I had to kind of hide in some respect and come under subjection. So if there's any personal story, it was I had an anger issue. I was very quiet, but I can only be pushed to a certain limit.
Sure.
And when that limit came, I don't want anybody around. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm some sort of tough guy or whatever the case may be. I'm not getting into that sort of thing. But it was I've had some major experiences in my life where I just kind of lost my ever-loving mind, and I don't like that side of me. I don't like that side of me. So for me, releasing the anger and getting past those things was going to help me. And I wasn't going to allow anybody to push me back in there. That's important. I'm not going to facilitate my brain being angry or my attitude. I'm not going to start placing phone calls and talking to this one and talking to that one that will help me kind of keep perpetuating this anger. What I've done is I removed any and everything a part of my life that was going to cause me anger. I was on this thing called peace from what I had to deal with during a season of my life. Peace was an issue. I took the time to find my peace. If I did not take that time, it wouldn't have been a good situation for anybody. Right. And I legitimately had to remove some things out of my life. Some understood, some didn't.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I got to be the one that lives with me. So.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being able to let go of some of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think safeguarding anger, I think is smart. Okay. Because it's not bad for you to be angry. It's what you do with your anger and how you handle your anger when you're angry. I know for me, I too can be a hothead. Thank God for balance and prayer. Okay. Because geez, if I feel like I'm a hothead, we thank God for you. That you know how to pull me down, pour some water on me and say, cool off. Okay, never mind. But it is a wonderful thing to be able to remove yourself and know when you're getting angry, because sometimes you'll just get angry, and I just feel myself getting angry and getting angry and getting angry and getting angry. And now it's at a blackout or all I see is red. And then it becomes dangerous. If you discover who you are and you really realize these are triggers, people say certain stuff and it bothers me, or it's a person that bothers me. It's a person that's in my atmosphere and they are the trigger for me. You got to learn to remove yourself from that individual or individuals that's causing you to be to that point, because God knows you don't ever want to get to a point where you're so angry that something detrimental happens, or next thing you know, you making phone calls and you have a collect call from, I don't know if that happens anymore, but nevertheless, you don't want one of those situations to end up happening to you. So knowing where you're at mentally, knowing how to safeguard your anger, know how to safeguard your peace, knowing how to allow love to go before you is something super, super beneficial.
Absolutely. Do not be afraid, to piggyback off of what my wife said. Don't ever be afraid to give deuces. You know why? Because you not giving the deuces could cause you some major pain. Yeah. So women have intuition, men have intuition also. I think most times we lead with the intuition that sits between our thighs, as opposed to the intuition that the Lord has provided to us. Most times our intuition is going to tell us something. We just have to listen for it.
Take heed to it.
Definitely. That all the time, that will bless your life. If you do not do that, it will not be a blessing to you. Everything that the man needs, and we're going to get into some Bible after some point. Right now,
it's coming.
Yeah, peace that surpasses all understanding.
Yeah,
you have to get to that peace, even if people don't understand what that is. Get to it. At the end of the day, Kenny J has got to hold account, or my mother and father named me Kenneth J. Wilkins.
Yeah, I love calling you that.
Yes, you do. That is going to be the person that I stand before, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. You're going to have to take an account for that, as my grandmama would say.
Oh, don't we love grandparents?
Oh, yeah, we love them. We love them.
Mine is hidden underneath here.
Nevertheless. All right. What's Bible talking about these tips and motivation?
You want me? You always want me to go to church?
Yeah.
All I got.
Oh my God.
All I have is a Bible. But I will say, to segue into what you're making reference to, is in the process of you letting go, you have to make sure that your yay be yay and your no be no, or your yes be yes and your no be no, because those are boundaries that you have to set. And everybody loves to hear somebody say yes, right? Because when you say, I ask you, hey, can you do something for me? Will you do something for me? That feels great when somebody is saying, yeah, I'll do it for you. Sure, I got you taken care of. Sorry. But what about when you need to say no to an individual? Can you stand firm, and can you stand by that no that you're saying to an individual? I know one thing's for certain, since you want to talk to me in the Bible. There is a biblical principle where Jesus was on the mount, right? Yes. And he had him a good old preach up there. Come on. And while he had his good old preach, he said what I said in the beginning: let your yes be yes and your no be no. Right. All other stuff, that's evil. That's evil works. So, and you can find that in the Bible. That is a Matthew principle. It's New Testament for you. Okay.
Yeah. So
what you want to say?
So absolutely, I think the word brings it all together.
Yeah. Now
this platform is going to kind of deal with so many different topics. Our backdrop, our foundation is going to be Scripture. Our foundation is going to be, so our consciousness is going to be filtered through Scripture. But here's what's not weird, but kind of crazy at the same time, is sometimes sometimes we are not honest with ourselves with regard to whether or not our psyche can be filtered through Scripture. And what happens is, that's when we get to some crazy theologies that doesn't make sense. There was a young girl that stood before a congregation at her church and apologized to them for her getting pregnant. We saw this clip, and I don't see anything wrong with it unless that is what she wanted to do.
Okay.
So nobody can say what that thought process was. If she's honest with herself, she could tell you the story from the way she sees fit. We're from that old school type ministry where you had to stand before the people. Here is my only problem with that. I wonder if the young lady went to God first. Because what happens sometimes in our local assemblies, we think that those folk that find themselves in sinful situations have to apologize to the congregation. They didn't sin against them, or she didn't sin against them. If she sinned against God, you have to pay attention to how God looks at that. We get this thing in our religious mindset that we are the ones that make the bylaws to what God is going to say. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. At the end of the day, an individual's perspective is not going to decide what God's going to say. My grandmother said God has the last say so. So although that may be something that she isn't traumatized about, I think of all of the individuals that's in the seats paying attention to what she's saying. I wonder what sins they got themselves into that nobody know about.
That part.
I wonder what sin I'm not saying anything about the past. I'm not saying anything about anybody, her mom. That young lady had to give an account of her sin to people that were sitting in front of her. That I had a problem with. That's the only thing. Whether she did it for whatever reason, I don't mean to get off on this tangent, but I think it's sometimes when we're living in the now, we have to see what traumas that we're contributing to these sorts of people who find themselves in situations. Be honest with yourself. Your first line of defense is what is God is saying about you. And if you can be confident that what God is saying about you is good, still go to him. Don't ever stop because you think he's confident or think you're confident in what his way is going to be. Stay with it, push, and get to where you need to be. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I ain't piggybacking off of that. No, church. I won't.
So let your yes be yes. Let your no be no.
That's a grandson.
No.
So let your no be no. But it's okay to say the no. Okay.
Right.
I do want to enforce that. It is okay to say no. It's not disrespectful for you to say no. And I think it is time for us to honor ourselves and respect ourselves, to set the hard boundary. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's okay to let your no be no. And don't allow anybody to talk you out of that. If you meant a no, say no. I come from the Yes Lord church. So it was imperative for us to give the Lord a yes or to say yes. Okay. So it feels good to say yes when you want to do something for somebody. But if you don't feel it within you to do something, don't allow somebody to force you to do something that you don't want to do. Let your no be no. And it's okay. Stand firm in your no.
Yeah. And don't be rude.
Well, you gotta be.
Don't be rude and don't expect nobody else to be rude back to you.
That, come on.
I won't get into no detail about that, but for me, I try not to be disrespectful to people, and I don't mean to make this about me all the time, but sometimes it's just like,
it is your platform, Doc.
It's our platform. It's the world's platform. It's Hear My Heart and the Real Talk, Real Thought platform with Kenny J and Tiffany. This is what this is, right? But we have to be so very diligent in understanding, man, everybody's going to get mad. You ain't old enough to check your emotions?
Yeah. You got to.
How do we do it?
You got to.
I mean, I'm not saying, look, everybody's having a problem at some point. Or like, man, check that. I have a major anger problem when it comes to certain stuff. And if I find myself like, I really don't want to have this conversation because I know I'm going to go left. Let's not have this right now. Let me calm down first. Some people doesn't even have that level of checks and balances and say, I'm not even going to do that.
Right. But if somebody tells you that, you have to respect that space. Because if you're in a space, and God knows, for Tiffany, as for me, if we're having a conversation and I say, hey, I need a minute.
Yeah.
Respect that space.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that now it ain't never got to the point. Disclaimer, we ain't never laid hands on each other.
Absolutely.
It ain't never been to that point.
Absolutely
right there.
Not.
But to respect one another's space, if conversations are had or certain things are said, hey, it's all right. I need a beat. Give me 5, give me 10. And that's not just within our relationship.
Right.
That's what relationships that we have with people, period. So if someone says to you, hey, I need a moment, or hey, I got to talk to you about something and I really need, what do you want to talk to me about? And you kind of give them a synopsis of it. If they say now's not a good time, I'm not ready to handle that. Don't force the issue to say what you have to say. I know you want to clear your chest, but figure out a good time that you guys can have the conversation so that the way can be made clear and understanding can be had versus you forcing your way. Now we're arguing, now we're fussing, now we're pissed off at everybody, and now I don't like you even more. No, have an adult conversation and understand now's not a good time. We'll revisit it at a good time, but make sure you revisit it.
Yeah. Everybody deserves a level of respect.
Yes.
Even when you think you've been wrong. Even though you think you've been wrong, don't when somebody come after you and ask you for a question, you take that time to kind of go absolutely insane. Wait, control yourself. 2025. At some point, we got to grow up.
Grow up.
Don't do that. Grow up. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? So as we move away from making sure that our no's are no's and our yeses are yeses, this is one thing that I have to come into full understanding of.
Mm-hmm.
Be mindful of your generosity.
Ooh, hello, church. Yes, lights.
While givers naturally want to support, remember that not everyone shares your same spirit.
Yeah, fact and truth.
Takers can often seek to receive more than they contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Taker, I'm read that again. I feel like we're speaking. Well, Sunday I was doing something with.
I was getting ready to say that. I was getting ready to say that. Hold on, one thing you start talking, I'm gonna go ahead and be your amen corner. Listen, I got this good old. Okay, I won't, but I got this good mic.
Good mic. Takers can often seek to receive more than they contribute.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hesitate to say that those same takers will even take more than they even gave you.
Ooh.
They'll take it back. Even when you've put forth some effort, they'll take what you've done,
mm-hmm.
disregard it, and take back everything that they tried to help you with to get you to where it needs to be. Is that what we're doing?
That's too much.
So prioritize your giving until you can fully grasp the concept of recidivism. It's important that you give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. It is an even exchange.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you learn these principles, all of these things are really like safeguards to make sure that you're living in the now. If you're not living in the now, I don't know why you're living in the past. Here's the thing. The past is not going to come back again unless you bring it back into your present.
Wow. I say better is always ahead of you. So
better is always ahead.
Live behind?
Absolutely.
What is the purpose of always staying behind? It's okay for you to relive the moment if you're trying to press forward. Say, hey, I know this happened and it made me feel this way, but we're moving forward. Don't keep reliving that moment every time you see that person, every time you hear a person's name be called. Now you got to relive that moment. It's time for us to heal, and we got to be able to progress past that and to move forward. We got to.
It's very important as we transitioned through our relationship into an engagement, into marriage. There was an actual give and receive.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't give, she wouldn't have received. Mm-hmm. If she didn't give, she wouldn't have received.
You wouldn't have received.
I wouldn't have received. It's just the recidivism. This wheel goes around and around and around. And if there's a kink in it, if there's a spoke missing or whatever, and it causes this thing to kind of topple over and not be able to roll your mission, roll your vision, roll your thing down the street, roll your boat, it's just not going to be a great relationship. I was not going to be without her.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
Yeah. When you've understood what those things are for you, and you've processed through all of these sorts of things, you'll really understand and see what life is all about. My life has been absolutely ridiculous for the last couple of years. As I took the time to process, took the time to take my peace, been honest with myself. With self. I've not always made great decisions. No. In fact, some of the issues that I dealt with was from bad decisions that I've made.
Good. That's honest.
Bad decisions that I've made, and I wasn't mentally in a state where I could really understand what this thing was about. When I stopped and took some time to say, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. I'm take care of my mental. When I did that, I can tell you one thing. It caused a lot of people to be upset. But here's what's more important than them being upset.
What is?
Me having peace.
Okay.
I'm not dismantling them. I'm not dismantling what they've been through or what their situation or what their trial or tribulation is. But you have not once ever heard Kenny get on this platform or any platform and call no names.
Yeah.
I've not retaliated. I've not done anything. All I did was maintain my peace. You know why?
Mhm.
Because I am peace.
Okay.
I'm peaceful. I'm not gonna. What one of the things that they said was um you reap what you sow.
Sure. Absolutely. Reaping's always greater than the sowing.
Reaping always, but you have to find out the individuals that are saying the reaping is you sow. What did they reap?
Oh. Mhm.
So it ain't always that somebody else reaped something
Mhm.
or sowed something. I'd rather say that. What did they sow?
Mhm.
My sowing was quiet. My sowing was let me continuously work on my relationship and my marriage and in my engagement. All of those sorts of things where I'm pushing the envelope of my heart, pushing the envelope of my perspective
Mhm.
to understand what my next is going to look like.
Okay.
And if people didn't understand that or won't understand that, and I'm having a transparent moment, I feel like I'm about to break and go crazy, but I will not. I'm still peaceful. My heart is love.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know what I mean?
And you have a wonderful heart.
Absolute.
Yes, you do.
I sing about it. I write about it.
Yeah.
I write about protecting your heart. I write about love. I write about everything in love towards everyone.
Mhm.
But for some strange reason, the individuals that I have even uh, just kind of pushed along the way, gave,
Mhm.
individuals that I was generous to,
Mhm.
the individuals that I even wanted to support, all of that came back at me in a not so peaceful way.
Mhm.
But I'm still peace.
Mhm.
So you say, watch what you sow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want you to take that same energy and watch what you sow.
Absolutely.
Not only you got, let me not go into
Thank you.
in something else,
Thank
but
you.
just understand what it is for
Hold your
us. It is
peace.
going to be very important that we be mindful of our generosity. Come back.
I'm here. I was kind
So
of in prayer.
our generosity and our over generosity can kind of cripple people to get to where they need to be, and it sometimes masks what they should be going to therapy for themselves, and not just saying they're going to therapy. Literally,
Mhm.
go to someone who's not going to baby you
Right.
and going to tell you what thus saith, I'll say the Lord.
Uh-uh. Mm-mm. I will say sincerely, like all jokes aside, we're gonna call him DOWN. Praise the Lord. Where's my fan at? But I will say that there are times where you really need to go sincerely seek a therapist, where you sincerely need to go seek a life coach, where you sincerely need to get with a mental health person, so you can kind of get you the help that you need. Find a good friend. I'm not going to stop saying that. Find you a good friend. Find you a good confidant. Find you a pastor, preacher, teacher. Find you someone who's not going to coddle your feelings, that is going to safely walk you through excavating the feelings from your heart that you are holding hostage. So, like, seriously, find you somebody. You can get you a payment plan. There's things that you can go see that your medical can take care of. But sincerely, find you some help and allow somebody to help you work through the process. There's individuals out there, including me. Hello, shameless plug.
Absolutely.
But I have no problem helping you to work through the traumas and the problems of your past, to help you live in your present so that you will be able to see your future, and you'll be able to see it in the place that you want to be in. And that's really where we want you to be at. We really want you to be healthy individuals. We want you to be healed individuals. But I'm saying allow the healing to begin, because it's never going to just be, I'm healed. It's always going to be a continual thing that you're going to have to go through. Healing is continual. So you're never just going to fully arrive. It's always going to be something that you're going to have to work on to get you to where you need to be at. But consult somebody, get you some help. And it's not a bad thing to get you any help.
Yeah.
Don't allow a friend to say, you just need to talk to me, girl. Hey, dude, yeah, let us talk it out. Okay, however guys talk, I don't know. I'm a girl. But don't allow one of your friends, family members, co-workers, or anybody to talk you out of getting you some help, because sitting on somebody's couch could be the very thing that's going to save your life.
I want to piggyback on it. The importance of a therapist, whether it be a secular therapist or a spiritual therapist, make sure you understand the counsel that you're getting.
Okay.
It is important that you attain wise counsel.
Come on, Bible.
It is very important that you attain counsel, as my wife said, to not coddle you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me add something to that.
Okay.
Because going to a therapist, your stuff will stay at the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
If you start having conversations with people, man, I think by the time it comes 10
Plays
people,
telephone.
it plays a whole bunch of telephone, and everything will be added to it. Some stuff will be taken away. It'll morph into something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure you're clear on who you're having these conversations
Absolutely.
with. Because say you have a conversation with someone who wasn't healed.
Mm.
They're not going to do anything but perpetuate your thought process to be even more of a whatever you're trying to get free from.
You end up trauma bonding.
And that trauma bonding.
Don't need that.
No. So we are going to recommend that you seek out some therapy, whether it be a secular therapist or a spiritual therapist. And as I stated before, make sure whoever that is, spiritual or secular, that it is a wise counselor or someone who's not going to coddle you. I said cattle, not coddle you, and to kind of keep perpetuating those mindsets. We want you healed, as Gilbert Earl Patterson would say, once you healed, delivered, and set free.
Oh, yes, sir.
So set free.
Absolutely.
So I hope at this point,
take advantage of that 30-minute consultation that you might have too.
Yeah.
Depending upon who your therapist is, sometimes they can be free. But take advantage of that and pay attention when you're in your session early on, because you got to find out if you're the right fit for that person. And that will be one thing that you'll do in going to therapy. And then all of a sudden you feel like therapy ain't the right thing for you to do because you talked to one person and they weren't the right fit. They might not have been the right fit for you, but find somebody else. Don't get discouraged in finding you a therapist that is not the right fit. I've talked to a few different individuals and they weren't the right fit for me to be able to help. But I have recommendations that I'm able to share with them. So you can go off to somebody else, because I may not be able to help you get past where you're at. So seriously, just because that one person didn't work out for you, don't stop your journey, please. I felt that on my heart. I had to share it. Okay, back to you now.
That's great information. That's very good. Please take heed to a licensed. Please take heed to a licensed. Say it one more time. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Cool out.
Please take heed to a licensed.
I'm just here to help
life
you,
coach. Please understand how important having these conversations are. Please know that living in your now, 2025, is a new year. 2024, old things have passed away, and we are on to new things greater in 2025. Hopefully, if you take some steps in your life to be better, will be greater than any year of your life. And I want to encourage you. It's not $1 million remedy. This is not a get rich quick scheme type of thing. It is, if you place your mindset where you want to go, it is not far-fetched that you can reach it. If you place your mind where you want to go, it is not far-fetched that you could reach it. If you say it out of your mouth, this is faith. If you say it out of your mouth, it has to return to you. If you say it out of your mouth. So that means if you're negative with it, if you're finding unwise folks to have these conversations with, and they're just perpetuating your thought process, they're going to continue perpetuating. That thing is just going to be like you giving. You're going to be giving that thing recidivism. It's going to keep coming back to you over and over again. Put yourself in conversations that's going to allow you to grow. Put yourself in conversations that's going to allow you to grow. Number 3, put yourselves in conversations that's going to allow you to grow. Get yourself around people that's going to allow you to grow. Do not be around the same people all the time. You got to change. You got to switch them up. Let me tell you, this year has been 2024 was an absolute. I ended 2024 with some really, really, really devastating stuff to me.
Okay.
Right? So the same individuals, the same friends that I had in 2024 and beyond, 2025 brought a whole other sort of situation. And I welcomed it. You know why? Because welcoming it welcomes growth.
Come on.
I know I'm growing. And sometimes you can't grow to your next level with the same folk who are doing whatever they've been doing. You have to grow. So I am growing and I'm glowing and I'm having a phenomenal time.
Oh, you better.
Bless God.
Bless
So
the name of our God.
So as we wrap up, we still thank you guys for tuning in, listening to Real Talk, Real Thought with Kenny J. And
I'm Tiffany, his co-host. Yeah.
Hear my heart. She's just co-hosting with me tonight just because we're doing this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and do all that you can to push the agenda of living in the now.
Yes.
There's so much things or so many things that's happening, and we want you to be a part of it. What's the conclusion? What's the wrap up? Summarize everything.
The conclusion of the whole matter is, let it go.
Go.
I can't sing. Let it go. Sincerely, let it go. We
Don't
want you
do that.
grow up.
Grow up.
And sincerely let your yay be your yay, your nay be your nay, and be mindful of your giving, of what you're giving out to individuals. It's okay for you to give. It's okay for you to receive. Be okay with receiving also, but be okay with giving. Don't allow negativity to stop you from giving. And understand sometimes who you give out to, you may not receive from them same individuals, but don't fret because God got you. Okay?
Look, I couldn't have said it no better than that. We want to thank everybody for coming through, checking out Kenny J and
Tiffany, the co-host of Real Talk.
We've married.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As you can tell, our posture at this moment in our life is very positive and very happy.
Stays like that.
Yeah, that's the essence of it. And sometimes, or for most part, it's very important to keep yourself there. Any and everything that was you was used to. If you're growing and some things around you aren't growing, it's time to uproot yourself and grow.
Come on.
And glow somewhere else. And it's just grow up. Just grow up. At some points, just grow up. And I'm enjoying whatever it is. This podcast, Tips podcast, we're looking to do some really, really good things in 2025. So please stay tuned. I think some people are going to be really, really shocked. Some people are going to be really happy. And that goes along with the territory.
But overall, there's going to be a lot of people growing.
Absolutely. And that's the goal. So there'll still be music. There'll still be books.
Yes.
There'll still be podcasts. There'll still be documentaries. There'll still be...
There's still going to be stuff.
So stay tuned. I promise you, you're going to really love it. So we absolutely love everybody that tapped on to take a look at it. Even the haters.
Stop.
We understand. We get it. It's uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Ain't nothing nobody could do about it.
I am not giving haters all this room.
Nah. So as you can tell, we're living in the now. This is 2025, and we're living in the now. I'll say it again. This is 2025. This is a new year. We're trying to continue our love for each other, continue our love for people. She's Hear My Heart. I'm the love dude. So it's going to be the heart of love coming near you very, very soon. Please understand what it is and how it is and what it's going to do. It's going to be a blessing to a lot of people. Just really, really be there and understand what it is. So we love you. I ain't going to kind of talk your head off. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hear My Heart with Tiffany Rochelle, and Real Talk, Real Thought with Kenny J. And I'm appreciative of her coming on with me tonight, just to give some things. And we got a whole bunch of things happening. The love of my entire life. You hear me? Yeah, I am. Oh, I'm not gonna be careful. No, I won't be careful. All right, people are watching. All right, we love y'all. We're gonna check y'all out later. Please throw 'em. Deuces. Peace. We love y'all.
Real talk with Kenny J.